Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back again for another Market Watch investments video for you guys tonight. Have a plethora of things I'm going to be showcasing for you guys. These are going to be my personal selections, and I do hope that you enjoy. Getting things kickstarted tonight is going to be a few band cards, my all-time favorites, Vanity's Emptiness, and there is a price decrease in this super rare specifically for the Secret Forces reprint. This is actually the second reprint, multiple reprints in this, and this is surprisingly very affordable. It was going up, but now we can see there is a 5-stack here. Lightly played first edition for 2 bones roughly, and then it goes up to 5 bones after that. Again, I'm looking for stacks here, 3 or more, so this is going to be a little bit more of a price differential. This is a very good price point for this. Anything between a bone to 2 bones for this, specifically for the first editions LP or near mint, are going to be a really great deal. Obviously, there's other versions like the Secret and the original Starstrike Blast Commons, but they're going for some pretty relatively interesting prices. And this is still very much a very good rarity to play, and it won't really matter if you lightly play it because you're going to be, it's just a super rare. But it's very much a holofoil, so interesting on that. Max C is going to be next. Again, this is going to be the super rare variant. Obviously, we know we have the ultimate rares and the secret rares, which are really, really nice. But honestly, for what it is, the playability behind the super rare, still being very much a super rare holofoil, very aesthetically pleasing in my personal opinion. But the price point for this currently is not quite there yet. I'm looking at 3 stacks here. This didn't come first edition because it was a tin promo. It's around 17 bones starting market price for a 4-stack here for near mint. This comfortably, I would say, it's very difficult. I don't know how long it's going to take, if really ever, because pretty much everyone and their mother is on balls on eyes with this card specifically, and just waiting and waiting, anticipating for this to come off. But honestly, around 10 bones, 8 bones is the price. I usually pick these up for trade specifically, and the price has been fluctuating a lot. But again, I really think this is the ideal print to pick up because, again, if it gets light played, it doesn't really matter because it's just a super rare, but it's still very nice as a super rare holofoil, as a super rare. So pretty interesting price points on that. Again, these are the 2 all-time, probably most serious cards that people are waiting for, anticipating to come off the ban list. So completely up to you guys on that, but some all-around really great stuff to take into account. Next is going to be Fable Raven, specifically the original print secret rares dawning out of Duelist Revolution. Now, this set was incredibly amazing. There was some really legendary cards that came out of here. We got Ultimate Effect Veiler, Ultimate Solemn Warning, Pot of Duality, Scrap Dragon, Ultra Rare Effect Veiler. We got some Naturia stuff, and just some all-around just really, really great prints. One of those infamous sets, right up there with Starstrike Blast, some really, really old, collectible, and very, very pricey cards. But this, for the 3 stacks, is almost clear off the market. Starting market price for Near Mint Unlimited is 14 bones, and then for Near Mint First Edition is a whopping 30 bones. And if we take off the 3 stacks, Unlimited start lightly played for roughly around Phantom under 10 bones. Near mint goes to 11. There's 3 pages of availability, and the first edition is a near mint for roughly around 20 bones, 19-20 bones. So really great artwork. Obviously, they're showcasing all of the Dark World stuff here, a little bit of the Fabled stuff, but more specifically, the Dark World has a little bit more Dark World engine, a little bit more Fable to it, and a little bit more playability throughout the generations. All around amazing artwork, great high rarity secret rare. Again, a really, really infamous set, and just an amazing powerhouse card, more specifically for the Dark World engines. But time will tell. Next is going to be what I personally consider a collector's card, and this is going to be the original print of Sea Monster Theseus, the secret rare dawning out of Raging Tempest. Now, you guys may remember this set as the infamous 2016 set that donned Zoodiac. Zoodiac was crushing through the metagame for quite some time. It was quite literally unparalleled, definitely up there with the infamy of Dragon Rulers for sure. Powerhouse deck was just insane when it was completely unlocked. And some really amazing cards in this set. Mostly, again, was infamous for the Zoodiac deck core archetype. But this card has a really amazing artwork. Obviously, highest rarity secret rare. There was a 2017 Megaton reprint, which, both versions, the original print is just cheap enough right now. White Mexican theory is if you can get double or more of the mirrored secret rare Megaton reprints, then obviously go for the reprints for the first editions exclusively. But the original print is just so insanely cheap. It's really not that much more pricey as opposed to the reprints. So definitely there is price availability for this, we're going to go ahead and check out stacks. So I'm going to switch over to stacks here because it's such an incredibly affordable card. And we can see here there is a stack of 35 here for lightly played first edition for under 3 bones a piece from King's Game. Again, this very much has amazing artwork, and a secret rare fusion monsters in general just look really, really great, and I love kind of like the monster allural pirate theme behind this is really, really cool. So again, not so much that this is going to be huge for playability. I mean, the only fact that it has going for it is a tuner, level 5, which is, you know, it kind of is what it is, but I just like how it's a water zombie. That's pretty unique, but again, Raging Tempest is getting up there in age. It is high rarity secret rare, and the artwork is just completely unparalleled. And the best of this is that this card is just so affordable and the same price of 3 bones for first edition original secret rare copies. Next is going to be a review of Speed Duel's Battle City box. So these secret rares, everyone was pretty much anticipating how insane the value of these secret rares. I mean, you got secret rare Dark Paladin, Rhoda, Blue Eyes, original art of Jinzo, Parashath, Breaker, Nobleman or Crossout, all these really, really great cards in high rarity of secret rare. Unfortunately, they have the Speed Duel stamp here. But, you know, it's not really a big deal. I mean, these are, for the most part, either reprints of original artworks or higher rarity upgrades, such as Aeronite Parashaft. So now everyone knows this is a great GOAT format card. Just an all-around amazing Generation 1 card. We've seen some pretty awesome rarities like the LOD Original First Edition Ultra Rares and the Champion Pack Rares. I forget which specific Champion Pack, but this came out as a rare in one of the Champion Packs, which is a very old set collectible as well. Now, when I personally invested in this card, when this set first dropped, I bought these for, I want to say around 3 to 4 bones a piece. We're talking about near mint first edition, fresh out of the set drop, and these cards are going for about 13 bones now. So we're seeing stacks here. There's some Frenchies here, Euro Frenchies for near mint first edition for 12 bones. That's a stack of 19, but the first English prints go all the way up to 13 bones for a 6 stack for near mint first editions. If we take off the stacks, it's really not much of a difference. It's about 11 bones, so you save about 1-2 bones for the unstackable stacks. So completely up to you guys on that. This is no surprise. Again, I think for the most part players knew that these were going to continue to go up, and this is still a very new set, relatively very new set. I mean, this hasn't even been out for a year yet. I mean, it's been maybe like 6-8 months or so, I can't remember, but this was a 2021 set. So again, we're still in 2021, not a very old set at all, but these prices are climbing, and it looks like they're going to continue to climb. So again, even though these are getting to some pretty uncomfortable price points, I really don't see these going down. And if you guys don't have your stacks, especially for Parashaft, I really think that Parashaft was one of the MVPs here. Rhoda's really nice too, and Jinzo's really nice too because it's been so long. I mean, the 2004, I think, 10 reprint promo was the last time we got that. So really great stuff on that. So, okay, so moving on to some Gen 1 stuff. After Genocide, which is actually, I can't remember now. I thought that the After Genocide was the original. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought I had the theory right here, or the history theory here, right, that this was the original print, and they decided to do a name change, censorship for the name change, and they changed it to After Struggle. I'm not sure if I have that in the reverse order, if After Struggle was first, and then they switched. It doesn't really make sense that way. I feel like this was definitely, I know this was the one that did the censorship name change to After the Struggle, but for some reason, After the Struggle is maybe just harder to get, because you can see starting market price for this is almost clear off the market, and we're talking about unlimited. These are all unlimiteds. Lightly played unlimited is going for 24 bones, 23, 24 bones. Then the next lightly played goes up to 100 plus. So obviously this is just like insane, over bolstered value because the market availability is just not there. I really have no idea why this is bottoming out at 250 bones for not even a first edition. It's ridiculous, unless these were the more difficult ones to get. But relatively, like this, there's a lot more history merit behind this one, and how this was the one that had the name change. So I'm really confused on that. But if we were looking for stacks here for first editions, they are relatively going down, which is no surprise. I mean, I'm sure a lot of players are aware of the censorship name change history behind this. We see the first stack here, a stack of 4 for about a pwn a piece for lightly played first edition. So not very expensive at all, relatively affordable there. And then the next stack that we see here for first edition is going to be almost around 4 bones for a 3 stack. And then there's only 3 pages of availability. So I'm not really sure why specifically the uncensored version, which I feel would be more valuable as opposed to the censored version. I'm not really sure. Comment below if you guys kind of know the history, Mary, if I kind of got like the reverse order on that. But for some reason, this is pretty much like eradicated from the market, and this version is worth a lot more money, and I'm just kind of confused by that. So next is going to be some Infernity stuff. So we did finally, after years and years, got a reprint of Mirage, and it came out as, unfortunately, in this terrible set. This was a god-awful set. They made some really interesting choices for reprints, but all around, even the premium gold rares, they just look so bad. Interesting enough, this picture actually does it more justice than I want it to worth. It looks a lot better aesthetically pleasing in this picture than the card actually does up close and personal. Very, very disappointed with this set. It was not, White Mexican, just not a fan in general. But, with that being said, these are insanely cheap, and keep in mind, I mean, it's a quarter bone, I'm talking about Near Mint First Edition, even though it just looks like total garbage. It is insanely cheap, and keep in mind that this is a very, very well-needed card for Infernity. Infernity is a very beloved, very old school fanboy deck, and the alternative is just the original Supers, which is going to run you about 10 bones, and that's before you even hit the first editions. First editions, Near Mint are going to go for 20 bones, and then if you take off stacks, I mean, starting market price for unlimited lightly plates for single, which is a 2 stack here, it's going to be 9 bones. So alternatively, do you really want to pay almost 10 bones for not even a first edition copy and like struggle to find a playset, when realistically you can play with this garbage one that looks really, really terrible, but it's still going to do the same thing, and it's going to be insanely more affordable. And over time, who knows? I mean, I don't know who's going to buy all these up. Obviously, this is a relatively new set, and there's plenty of an abundance. But keep in mind, there is only 2 prints of this. So there is an opportunity that in the future, if people decide to pick this deck back up, or if there is some new support cards, this card is not going to be a quarter bone. It's going to be a lot more. So even if you invest in small bulk, this could definitely potentially be a future flip for profit. Next is going to be Necromancer. So we have the DT versions, obviously, DT4 commons, which is amazing. DT is a discontinued rarity. I'm a huge avid fan of DT. I personally collect a lot of DT stuff personally myself. Also do a lot of content review for DTs that you can see. I have a little pretty off-spark compassion for DT here. Lightly played is going to be about 9 bones here, and these are for the first 3 stacks. So it's actually not that bad, seeing how it is DT. This card used to be a lot more expensive, or a lot more money. There's 3 pages of availability, so really not that bad, honestly. I mean, it seems like a lot because it is just a common, but keep in mind it is DT common, so it's really not really common. It's DT rarity, which is really, really great. Alternatively, the Stardust Overdrive commons are just commons, so they're going to be relatively more affordable. Let's see if we can find some first editions. We do have some Near Mint first editions for roughly around a bone and a half. Here's a 5 stack, and there's 3 pages of availability. So again, it's completely up to you. Obviously, it's going to be more money, but it is DT, and DT is very much discontinued, really great rarity. So it's like, do you want to pay 2 bones for the commons for just playability purposes? This is what I would personally do. I would get the DTs just to have for collectability purposes, because High Rarity Necro Infernity is just really like I can't say like a legacy deck, but really old school, a lot of fanboy fodder behind it. People are definitely going to really like take interest in high rarity stuff. It's a very great collectible magnet. But then for playability purposes, I wouldn't be playing with these DTs. I'd be playing with, a couple bone playset of the first edition commons. Having that first edition stamp, even though it is very much a common, with the low availability and prints in this, would be very much, rightfully so, satisfying to me personally. Next is going to be Archfiend. So this is going to be the DT rare, and this is actually an error on TCG Player. These are actually, you can see it here, you can see the silver lettering. This is actually printed in rare, not common, rare. And I actually tried to do a report on this. I don't really know what's going on with that. But anyway, so these, for the longest time, again, just like Spy and just like Dark Necrofear, I always kind of go back and recycle this content, because I am just such an avid believer in DT, and it's being such a high a high value collector piece in this game as it continues to just keep on getting older and older, and it's already been discontinued again. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but that is just a really key takeaway of why I invest so much in DT. Anyway, it's about 5 bones, a little bit over 5 bones for a 3 stack here for lightly played, and that goes to 7 bones for a fat stack of 25 for near mint. If we take off stacks, it's about 5 bones. There's about 5 bones for this near mint, and there's about 2 pages of availability. So completely up to you on this. Obviously this is a 3 of, just like Infernity Barrier, which surprisingly enough, again, the reprint 20 Twin super rare promos are insanely cheap. They're like not even a bone. Let's see if we turn on stacks here. They're like 2 bones. So Card Rush has a fat stack 12 for 2 bones near mint. And then of course obviously we have the original secret rares, but the secret rares are still very much, and they always kind of will be. Again, Infernities are just one of those fortunately, unfortunately set that just didn't get a lot of high reprints. So the original prints are just running for some pretty ungodly prices. We can see Near Mint Unlimited is running for 30 bones. The first edition as a lightly played is 40 bones. And there is a single first edition Near Mint, when it happens to be a 3 stack, which is nice, which is going to be 70 bones. But then it's going to have that 5 bone shipping included. So, again, these are for 3 stacks exclusively. So, complete up to you guys if you want to switch over to singles. Next is going to be Salad. So, Salad is no longer a solo print anymore. I don't remember what was the other one. So, it got a super rare. So, I mean, it got a downgrade. But, I mean, downgrade, but rightfully so, almost kind of like an upgrade, because the original print was ultra rare, and ultra rare is just like the worst rarity of all time. But I'll give it to it, being that it is the original print out of Dark Neostorm, as a hierarchy, relatively higher rarity of ultra rare. Disgusting to say, rolls off the tongue terribly. This is insanely affordable, and this is such a good card. I really don't understand why this is so affordable. I mean, I get it that it's Dark Neostorm is not an insanely old set. It's not like a super new set, but it's not super old. It's kind of like right in the middle. When did this come out? Like 2020 set or 2019? I can't remember. It wasn't that long ago. I was in Japan at the time. And anyway, so there's a 5 stack right here. We're talking about Near Mint first edition, top notch for a bone. And there's plenty of availability here. There's another stack here for a bone, and it continues on. There's 3 pages. This is a really, really good card. And this is, again, Atlantean Mermail is a really fanboy favorite deck. There's a lot of people who like this deck, and it's very expensive to get in high rarity. Again, this only has 2 versions, so it's completely up to you guys on that, but I think this is a highly underrated card, just like Abystus. So Abystus, this is the secret rare out of Gen 1 Battles of Legends, the very first Gen 1, the very first Battles of Legends that we ever got here in the TCG, with the updated hallowed foiling. We got the attributes and the level stars, got the secret foil treatment. Really, really cool history merit on that. Transition set for rarity upgrade. And again, these are under a bone. We see these Near Mint lightly played first editions for under a bone, and there's a 19 stack here and a 5 stack here. So, and the stacks keep on continuing for about 2 pages. So plenty of availability. Now, obviously, we have the original Cosmo Blazer Ultimate Rares, which if you're gonna go all baller status, of course you're gonna want to get these. But think of the alternative. I mean, for unlimiteds, this is gonna go lightly played unlimited. The most affordable is gonna be just a Phantom under 60 bones for 58 bones. If you want Near Mint, it's going to go up to 68 here. And then there's only a handful of first editions here, and they start at Phantom under 80 bones for 77. So realistically, if you're going to go all out, you're going to go ultimate rare, you're going to want first edition. You're not going to, who's going to get an unlimited ultimate rare? I mean, it's an ultimate rare. If you're going to go out, you want to go first edition, like that's crazy. But we're talking about, a Phantom under 80 bones. Or a healthy alternative, a first edition secret rare for $1. Like, I don't know. That's just that's some white Mexican theory for you guys, but completely up to you guys. Player preference. Next is going to be Gravekeeper's Spy. I really, really like this card a lot. Again, this as well as Archfiend and Dark Necrofear, I just keep on going back, recycling through, because I just really believe in these. And again, this used to be a half bone card. Several years ago, I picked this up as well as those other 2s that I mentioned, and they're just insanely cheap. Looking at stacks now, they're still relatively affordable. I mean, they're not even 5 bones. They're 3.5 here for Near Mint, and for 7 stack, and then again just Phantom under 4 for a 20 stack. So these are still very much available. 2 payload pages available for stacks. And again, this is rare. This is actually corrected right rarity here, DT6 rare. Spy is an amazing card. It's an amazing legacy card, and Gravekeepers again is just another really great fanboy fodder deck, and this is a really great rarity. I mean, obviously we have the secret rares, which I personally have myself too. I mean, I think you guys are probably no stranger to know that Legendary Collection 3 and 4 and Legendary Collection Kaiba, nothing but praise for those sets. Amazing collectability value. I mean, amazing card choices and amazing high rarities. So those really great. The Champion Pack 3, but I mean, this is almost unattainable. I mean, 7 listings starting a micro price at, God knows what condition for 200 bones. So it's really a no-brainer at that point. I mean, ideally, yes, I really do appreciate the secret rares, and obviously they've been going up. I mean, they're anywhere between 4 to 8 bones now, which they're definitely going to be more than 4 now. So people have taken note of this, and then, of course, you have some ultra rares as well. Where are the ultra rares? There was... not the gold series. Here it is, the ultra rares. But again, it's going to be player preference. All these amazing rarities, but ideally, if you're not fortunate enough to get the super rare, I really think that DT6 is even going to outshine the secret rare, personally, in my opinion. I have both, personally, but I have a lot more DT rares as opposed to the first edition secrets. Gravekeeper Steel is going to be next. So this is the highest rarity of this card. I think there's only 2 prints. A couple of prints. So there was a Speed Duel... super rare. So the thing about this is people got to keep in mind, like, people are really going crazy about the holofoils for the Speed Duels tournament packs 1, 2, 3, and X amount of whoever they have, which I can kind of understand to a certain extent, because they're thinking of okay, this is going to be like Champion Pack, this is going to be like Tournament Pack. But you have to keep in mind that Champion Pack and Tournament Pack are insanely generations and generations older. So why would you invest in this super rare, even though it is very, very affordable? Why would you not invest in a higher rarity of ultra rare? I mean, even though it is disgusting as an ultra rare, I'm not going to lie, give the super rare that merit. But Legendary Collection 4 came out way before this Speed Duel set. So ideally, if you're going by time merit and history, this ultra rare is going to be a lot more valuable, a lot more harder to get, and a lot more older than this Speed Duel super rare. So personally, I think some players are kind of confused. They have it a little bit backwards. Again, that could be player preference. That's just some white Mexican theory personally for you guys. Completely up to you guys if say no there. But this is insanely cheap. I mean, there's a 10 stack here, near mint first edition, not even a bone. This is a perfect recycle card, and again, this is a need. I don't know who runs this without running at least one copy of this. So these are well-needed cards, and they're just insanely affordable right now, and I just don't think they're going to last. Again, Legendary Collection has a Legendary Collection stamp, so has that collectability behind it as well. Alright, so Blue Eyes White Dragon is going to be next, specifically the super rares out of starter deck Kaiba Evolution. So everyone knows that the original Gen 1 2002 starter deck Kaiba and starter deck Yugi, Dark Magician, and Blue Eyes ultra rares first editions are just ungodly expensive. You got lightly played or near mint, just insane abundance of value. Who's to say this Generation 2, which is the Evolutions, what I consider, and Generation 3, which is the Reloaded series for the Ultimate Rares, are going to continue to increase in value as well. And the market has taken note of this. I don't personally really know. I mean, maybe I don't really watch a lot of other Yu-Gi tubers specifically for market watches. I try to kind of keep my content a little vectored because I want to keep in mind my kind of resources and what my mindsets are and kind of what I'm thinking about when it comes towards making this content for this channel and kind of my value and my view on the market currently. But I don't really know who much else. I mean, comment below if there is, some big shots they're talking about this, but I don't really know much of anyone else. I haven't heard, my buddies or pals haven't told me anything about this, but I think this is something that really needs to be aware of, and I mean, maybe it's just because it might be kind of like the train's kind of left the station on this one, but there's no first editions of this. So again, this has been a card I've been trailing for a long time, and maybe this is a good thing. I'm kind of happy that I'm finally seeing that there is some predominance rising this, seeing how there's completely no stacks here for first editions, which is kind of a bittersweet because this is a really fun investment. I'm really excited about this. Personally, I've invested relatively heavily. Obviously, it is Blue Eyes, so it's been a little bit more competitive to pick up as opposed to the Dark Magician. So taking off stacks here, trying to find some first editions, It's obvious that the market has definitely taken note of this, which, you know, I'm excited about. Hopefully people can really have the opportunity to pick up on this, because I think there's some really good value behind this investment. Lightly played first edition is going to be about 6 bones, and that starts at the 4th page. There's plenty of pages availability here, so not too much of a huge increase, but the sheer fact that the stacks are completely gone on this is definitely a direction in the right path towards this seeing some significant value increase, and I can just see this increasing more over time. Kaiser Seahorse is also the original print of this card as an ultra rare, and this is very much, you know, not obviously as collectible as Blue Eyes. People aren't going to pick up on this as much, but if we switch over to stacks, there is 5 pages availability, no first editions on the first 2 pages, so that's kind of interesting enough. First edition stack is going to be a stack of 4 for half a bone, and you got the shipping here, so you know that's availability. Again, this is just one of those cards that you pick up in bulk because it's so insanely cheap, and it's more so of history merit, this card just being insanely cheap. Another thing people don't really know about this is you can bust out a Christie on this. Now, I know it sounds random. Why would you play Sea Serpent and like a potential Fairy Beater or whatever it may be? But this has really killer artwork. Again, this is a really infamous set, and I think it's going to continue to get infamous as it just gets older and older and older. And this is really affordable, and the numbers are dwindling, so that is a telltale sign of this card is going into the right direction. So you might want to pick up on it. Just me personally, of course, we got the Dark Magician. This is following suit with Blue Eyes. It's a little bit more affordable. Again, there is no stacks here for the first editions, or for the first editions are just completely gone. There is no first edition stacks. So again, rightfully so, following suit with kind of the investment value behind this. If we change over to 1 stacks, there is 5+ pages. It's going to be probably quite some time before we find a page for some first editions, though. So let's go ahead if we can find some. Here's the first edition for about 4 bones for lightly played. And then there is another one here for roughly around 5 bones for a lightly played first edition. 7+ pages availability. So again, these are old. They are continuing to get old, and it's obvious that the market is really responding to these, and rightfully so. Next is going to be the original highest rarity. I believe this is highest rarity. Let me check myself. There is a DT version. Oh my goodness, this is going to show like all the crazy ones. So there was a DT rare, so technically like hierarchy, this isn't ultra rare, so it would be higher than this, but this is very, very nice. I don't remember if I personally invested in this copy. There's a lot of just random DT stuff that I invested in. It was super rare here, so I believe I by like hierarchy of rarity, this is the highest as an ultra. Amazing artwork, obviously, a huge anime card for Yu-Gi, and this is insanely old. I mean, it's no Dark Magician, but it is well enough worth collectability investment value. Looking at stacks here, there's no first editions on the first page. There is actually several pages of stacks here, so that's pretty it's pretty nice to know. But the thing is it has to be first edition. You have to have that first edition stamp. The whole purpose behind these investments is for collectability purposes, so you're going to need that first edition stamp to really withhold the value here. Starting market price for lightly played stacks is 13 bones. Actually, this isn't even a stack here, so that's actually strange. Okay, so this is the real stacks. I apologize. There is a single stack of first edition, and the starting market price is 56 bones for a 4 stack. So obviously, significantly more value than what this card used to be. I mean, this card, again, like, I mean, you go back, you check my videos about, 6 months, a year ago, like, this was insanely cheap. And I mean, I know everyone kind of says that, but I mean, I don't know who is tuning in and who's, like, if you're new or not, but there's just the numbers are there, and it's pretty insane. So I'm really curious about the single stacks for this, if we can even, because obviously when you buy in bulk, for the most part, depending on the era, it's going to be a little more expensive. So they're about 13 bones. Lightly played first edition of 13 bones for the single stacks, which is obviously significantly more than what it was going for quite a while ago. But I think that the ritual card here is still very much relatively attainable here. We're going to look at some 3 stacks here, make sure this is all updated. There is a first edition stack here. That's okay, I guess I took that off. So no first edition stacks on the first page. There is actually, did I miss something? Hold on. Okay, yep, no. So no first editions on the first page for stacks. The first stacks of 3 starts at a bone, so lightly played, multi-monster holding it up, so pretty good. And then 136 for a 4 stack. Go to page 3, and there's a 4 stack here for around 122. So I mean, relatively all under 2 bones range, which is fine as long as you're getting at least specifically for the first edition. You guys have to have the first edition. So again, I mean, this is going to be a pair. I mean, if you're going to collect in this, like yeah, obviously this one's like the nicer one because it's the monster, has the like greater artwork and all that. But it is a very much a pair set. If you're going to try to sell these, or you're going to trade these for collectability purposes, more than likely the player base is going to want the ritual spell with the ritual monster. That is all I have for you guys tonight. Link below is going to be to my Facebook. Any of you guys can add me, message me. I would love to talk to you guys about anything Yu-Gi-Oh related. Yu-Gi-Oh has been part of my life for almost 2 decades. I feel extremely compassionate about this game. I love the brotherhood, the creativity, the trading, the investments, the dueling. The Yu-Gi-Oh community in general is just an amazing place to be a part of. I'm very proud to be part of this Yu-Gi-Oh community. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys are making some fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh investments yourself. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I'll see you in the next video.